Mobile Meals is the home delivered meals program, and our purpose is to glorify God by providing nutritious meals, services, and fellowship to the frail and homebound of Spartanburg County.
We prepare over 1,200 meals a day.
We have volunteers that deliver about 130 routes per day, Monday through Friday.
We need 150 volunteers every day. So over a year, there's over 1,000 volunteers.
They volunteer in the kitchen, in the office, and they deliver meals.
We send out every morning, the very first thing, we load up in insulated containers 3 Mobile Meals vans driven by volunteers. And they drop meals around the county, all over the county. The pandemic, the coronavirus, has had a tremendous impact on our program, but every challenge comes with its blessings. And so this has as well. When we first began to hear about this several weeks ago, we determined that we were going to continue providing meals 5 days a week at least, which we currently do.
The impact for our ministry is very significant. We have seen a loss of about 60% of our regular volunteers. They just cannot come. They're at risk category, so they are self-quarantining, staying home.
So of course they wouldn't get sick, and so we have to pretty much, carry the load.
Every time we are serving, we need extra volunteers.
And we are working with our community that's just been amazing to respond to our need for volunteers. And our local churches, organizations, business owners that are not working at this time are coming and delivering meals.
We knew immediately that we were going to do all that we could to protect our recipients. Then we acknowledged we also need to protect our volunteers as well as our staff. So with those 3 parameters in mind, which weren't an easy task.
In order to limit our exposure to the people, we have been on an every other day schedule. We alternate days of delivery and send multiple meals.
This last week we served 2 meals, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, a hot meal and a frozen meal. This coming week we will serve Tuesday and Thursday.
We have been very blessed to receive meals from our emergency response of Spartanburg County. They have provided us with an extra meal.
Also this week, we will be sending out a number of shelf-stable meals that have been provided for us.
So we are trying to get them to accumulate some extra food in the event that we were unable to continue our service. They would have some extra food.
Normally our cooks come in very early, like at 4:30, prepare the food, and we have a slew of volunteers that come in and serve the meals. Well, they can't come in now. We're keeping everybody outside of the house, because if one person on our staff gets coronavirus, our program begins to shut down. So we're trying to be very diligent about that. So our admin staff comes in at 7, and we go to the kitchen and we help the production staff serve the meals.
At the same time, we're doing necessary precautions, but also take care of ourselves as well.
We're doing a lot of different things. We don't allow anybody in the building that is not staff, and the temperatures are taken every day of every staff member that's in the house.
Being in this business, we're supposed to wash our hands anyway, so that's automatic.
Now, our volunteers, we didn't want them congregating, so we decided we'd do a drive-by meal service. So we have a group of volunteers outside the building with masks and gloves on, and our volunteers drive through in their cars.
They don't get out of their car. We provide all of their food to their vehicle.
And we also provide the mask and gloves for the volunteers. So
no meal is touched without gloves before the recipient receives the food.
So we don't spread anything, because all we want to spread is food and not anything else.
Formally, we would encourage volunteers to go in and maybe give them a hug if they're comfortable and have a little chat. But with the situation now, we're saying as little contact as possible. Make sure you see them to make sure they're well, and then just hand them the meal at the door and wish them a blessing and go on your way.
They seem surprised that we're coming, surprised that we've continued to serve them. That's the feedback that I'm getting from the folks that deliver the food. It's pretty phenomenal.
The biggest reward is just making sure that our people are fed. That we can continue to feed our people, and we don't have to stop production because of the pandemic.
Sitting on my desk right now, a letter from a lady from her family that receives meals. They don't live in the state, and they really depend on us to provide her food and to check on her.
For many of them, they tell us our volunteers are the only person they see every day. So we know that contact is fraught with blessings and challenges.
This ministry is a blessing to a whole lot of people, and I'm glad to be a part of that.
I think we are learning what is really important in life. The things that we take for granted, perhaps, hopefully, we won't take them for granted anymore.
I personally feel like my values have changed. I'm humbled that these people come at their own risk to a certain extent, right?
What is really important in life, and that's caring for each other, having, for me personally, a deep and abiding faith.
I'm very privileged and honored to participate with the amazing people that come here, that take their time and their energy and their love, and they just share it with these people that are homebound.
I just want to tell our volunteers that we miss you, so we hope to see you real soon.
So many volunteers tell me, I didn't want to deliver meals today, I was tired, it was rainy, whatever, and they come back and say, I went because I knew I needed to bless somebody, but that's not what happened. I got the blessing.